Greg.
Okay.
Good day. What comes to mind when you hear the words crisis? From a show of hands, who here prepares themselves in advance for a crisis? Thank you. Within the walls of corporate America, they have a vested interest in ensuring that their employees and property are kept from harm. The plan that they implement is known as a business continuity plan. According to Wikipedia, a business continuity plan provides a practical and logistical plan for how an organization will recover and restore partially or completely interrupted critical functions within a predetermined time after a disaster or extended disruption. According to a recent study conducted through the Miami Chamber of Commerce, 91% of businesses surveyed in South Florida reported that they had some type of a business continuity plan. However, the number of firms who engaged in the regimen of testing and revising that plan on a regular interval was below 45%. Now is the time for your leadership and your engagement on this important aspect of business. There are three aspects for a business continuity plan: protecting your business, protecting your people, and safeguarding your data. Let's begin with protecting your business. According to the USA government, the best ways to assess the continuity of operations planning, they recommend the following. They ask that you carefully assess how your company functions, both internally and externally, to determine which staff, materials, procedures, and equipment are absolutely necessary to keep the business operating. You need to identify critical operations that are critical to your survival and your recovery. You need to include emergency payroll. You need to be able to make financial decision making. Accounting systems need to track and document the costs in the event of a disaster. You need to establish procedures for succession of management. You need to include at least one person who is not at the company headquarters, if applicable. Currently, where I work, our New York office is based as our home center, in the sense of if anything happens to our Miami office, if we lose power, we're in danger, any catastrophes that we may experience, business can continue. It will be business as usual. You need to also be able to review your emergency plan annually. A lot of companies don't do that. They'll put something into place, and then afterwards they'll forget about it until next hurricane season. And then everyone's scrambling around for information, and everyone seems like they're just completely at a loss. So as you're beginning to look at how your business changes over time, you need to look at your preparedness levels, and when you hire new employees or there are changes in the business, you need to be able to assess how the company functions. You need to update your plan and inform your people. When we think about protecting your people, a lot of things come to play. You need to pull your HR group. Your HR representatives can provide you with a detailed list of emergency contact for your employees, any personal data that you need to have for them and about them. That information needs to be kept safe. In addition to that, you need to develop a communication plan for employees by providing with a 1-800 dial-in number. That allows you as the leader to be able to update accordingly. Employees will be calling into that number, and thus they'll be able to know what is the status of the business. Will the business be open, or due to mitigating circumstances, will business be closed? Employees will have a lot of questions, and it's best to prepare that communication plan in advance. And then finally, we look at protecting your data. According to a Reuters online article, it's interesting that the lack of real-time data recovery plan is a weak point of any business. This was just August of 2008. And so we look at how current that is, and it is true. It happens that, unfortunately, a lot of companies will choose to safeguard their information late and not in a timely manner. And so when you think of what information you're protecting perhaps client lists, vendor information, contact information to cover the entire world. You're ensuring cybersecurity of your information. And another aspect that you really have to think of is that what happens if the site that we've established is no longer, that evacuation site is no longer available because it's in danger or the situation has been compromised. So you really need to look at a lot of these other factors and take into consideration how you can best identify the needs of your company by protecting your business, and I shared with you the fundamental ways that you can do that. Protecting your people and protecting your data. I want to thank you all very much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.
Did she do it? Yeah, good.
And it was all, did you hear my phone?